So um, just to kind of preface things, in March of 2022, I guess that would have been about a month or so after the invasion of Ukraine. Christine Snyder came to my office and she told me about how she had, I'm probably not going to say this right. I'm going to try to remember. Her son, Timothy, has a friend, Natalia. Her name is Natalia. She is a journalist in Ukraine. She's a Ukrainian journalist. She had stayed with Christine at one point in time. Natalia had actually been here, I believe, in Wilmington when the sister city arrangement was made between the city of Wilmington and the city of Merefa, Ukraine. So Natalia had reached out to Christine and said, we really need help. Things are not good here. We're trying to do what we can to get help. Do you know anyone in Wilmington who can help us? So Christine came to my office, and in the way that Christine does, she said, we are going to help the people in Ukraine. And I said, okay. So Christine did most of the legwork. Other folks did as well. The Ukraine committee has changed. I believe at that time it might have been Neil Snar and Randy Riley and Christine, and some people have gone on and off since then, but basically the wheels got put into motion. We started raising money, and it's kind of amazing. I'm the one who accepts the donations in the office, and it's kind of amazing to see where all of these donations come in from. You know, when Christine first started talking about this, I thought, oh, we're just gonna get stuff from the yearly meeting and from people probably in Wilmington who are aware of this sister city relationship, and that's it. But I mean, we got money from somebody in London, England. We get money from people in states all over, like Vermont, Michigan. We actually, this kind of, I thought was amusing. We got a check around Christmas. Somebody had been in town visiting family for Christmas. I don't remember where they were from, but they were like, we saw something in the window of a building about Merefa, and then we started doing some research and found out about this. So here's some money. And I was like, wow, it's really cool how this stuff kind of all works out. So from March 2022 up through now, we have sent $28,650 to the people of Merefa. Currently, we have $3,697.28 in the Merefa Ukraine Fund. Christine likes round numbers. She would like to send $5,000 before we do our next wire. So we have about $1,500, or no, I did that wrong. $1,400. So if anybody would like to donate to Merefa Ukraine to help us reach that goal, hit me up. I will gladly accept your donation and deposit it and get it sent to the people of Ukraine. All right, so this, like I said, this slideshow is what the people in Ukraine who have been directly receiving this relief have sent us. Kristen, would you mind going to the next slide? So this is purely humanitarian, based on what we have been told. This is purely humanitarian. The folks who are receiving this money are just using it to help the people in the town who don't have food, don't have water, don't have clothes, can't afford gas for their cars, things of that nature. So it looks like there are some demographics on who is volunteering on their team. And I think those are partners in Ukraine that work with them over there on the left. I believe that those are partners. Kristen, you can go to the next slide. This is the geography of where this group has been taking things or providing aid, which are our donations help them purchase those things. I am not really, I have to admit, I know next to nothing about Ukraine. I am not familiar with this geography here. But just from this view, this looks like we're helping a lot of people in a lot of different places, and that's really pretty cool.
I think that's running all the way to the Russian border on the east.
Okay, perhaps it is.
Not sure,
Yeah,
which would be occupied territories.
yes. Yes. Yes,
Well, it was, this part I think has been taken back.
right. So, yeah, it would appear that,
If I remember right, that the upper right-hand part there is the part that is actually adjacent to the Russian Federation.
oh, okay. Yeah, so, yeah, it looks like, I mean, I guess the nature of war, if you want to help people, you are going to, and you're gonna take that risk of going into enemy fire if it means helping people. So that's a very, very brave, very wonderful. Kristen, you can go to the next slide. So this looks like the number of applications that this group has received for humanitarian aid since, I guess, okay, it's all right there, duh, Hannah, March 2022 to March 2023. So they're getting a lot of asks for help is what these numbers look like to me. And it looks like they're processing things pretty quickly as well. Yeah, I mean, 15% in progress, that's a pretty low number. So it looks like they're really getting things and trying to get them out. So, Kristen, you can go to the next slide. These are kind of demographics of the people who are receiving their aid. There is an age not specified down there. I do think I apologize. I haven't really had time to like process all of this, but it's kind of interesting that it appears that the aid is going to a large number of people under 18, and then also a larger number of older adults, which I imagine those are probably the two more vulnerable populations when something like this happens. So that's pretty significant. And it does look like the aid is mostly going to women. I don't know why that is, probably because men are going to war. So yes, so. Next slide, Kristen. This is more just sort of demographics, employment, statistics for the people who are receiving all of this aid. It looks like some of these people are retired, some of them are unemployed. A lot of them are displaced, which makes sense because that's the nature of war. Honestly, it's kind of amazing that anybody has a job when your country's under occupation and everything, so. There we go.
Many pensioners.
Yes,
People,
yes.
retired people.
Yes, absolutely. Kristen, you can go to the next slide. This is really, anytime Christine talks about what they do with this money, this is really what I'm kind of speaking for Christine, I don't know, but this is always what seems to like kind of choke her up and get her emotional, so I think that this is maybe what is most meaningful to her. That so much of the money that we send goes towards baby food, diapers, milk, medication for babies and for mothers, just anything that a person with babies would need. You know, these are just things that we don't really have to think about here in the United States, because we go other places to fight wars. Wars aren't typically fought here, and I can't imagine being a young mother with a baby and trying to feed my baby and be under threat of war. So this is very important, very awesome. Kristen, you can move to the next slide. This is demographics on the children that are helped. So boys and girls, it looks like we're helping about half and half. And then it breaks up from age over there on the other side. It looks like about 50% of the aid is going to that like toddler-ish age, 1 to 3, and then the younger babies are over there on the side. So it's helpful information to have. Kristen, you can go to the next slide. And then this is just a list of partners who are working with them and doing these things that they are trying to do. A few of these I actually recognize, like WYM Ukraine. I know that's a pretty well-known group. And maybe I'm making that up. I thought I saw something that said Mennonite, but I'm making that up. That's not there. Okay. And I think this is the last slide. Kristen, could you go to the next slide if there is one? Okay, there was no other slide. Okay, so I apologize. Christine would have done a much better job at this presentation. Does anyone have any questions or comments?